Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Flesh and Blood video. Yeah, video. Now, it's actually been a couple weeks since I've streamed, and I'm pretty excited to stream, honestly. The holidays are really busy for me, and it's tough for me to always, make sure that I'm making time to stream. Um, you know, this is really like we're coming up on. It will have been 2 years streaming for me in January, and last year around this time, streaming got pretty slow. The holidays just get busy, and it's just tough for me to always make sure that I'm streaming and putting up content. But I try to stream when I can. It's been the same thing for me this year. It's just been a lot going on. The holidays and with us trying to start the team and everything. There's been a lot going on. So, it has made me enjoy streaming that much more, honestly. It's made me that much more appreciative for being able to stream when I can, so I'm pretty excited about it. Hey, Natty Ice, thanks for the like, brother. I appreciate you, man. Um, but I don't know, I'm pretty excited to stream. I've been playing Icelander. So a little bit of an update before I jump into some games here is that I've been testing Icelander a lot, and last night I played at. We had like a pretty big armory where everybody paid like $30 to play, with some bigger prize payouts. I ended up coming in second. I had two losses all day. One was in the Swiss, which was to Control Dash, like the hard Jacob Ball Control Dash. Icelander has a hard time with that deck, and my other loss was to the same exact person in the same exact deck in the finals. So that was my two losses for the day. I don't know. I'm really enjoying Icelander and the way it plays. Honestly think it's one of the things that kind of plays the most similar to how Magic plays. And so that's one of my biggest takeaways is that I enjoy it because it gives me the interaction of I'm throwing big attacks on my turn and then I can also play stuff on your turn to disrupt you. So yeah, I don't know. It's really good, and I've been enjoying getting to play the deck more. So I'm kind of excited to keep testing with it. ProQuest season. We're about a month away from ProQuest, and I'm more than likely to be playing Icelander, but at this point. But I've really been enjoying Control Dash 2, so you guys will see me playing that here and there when I get to stream some. So I'll be trying them out both to try and make sure that I'm staying up to date with the two decks that I think are really good. Icelander has a bad Control Dash matchup, and it's not great into Dash like regular like Boost Dash, and it has a really bad Dromai matchup. Now, on the flip side of that, Control Dash has a really bad Phi matchup. So, I don't know. It's tough to say what I should be playing or what's best or what's not, but I don't know. So, we've been testing a lot, and we're coming up with a lot of good things. Getting second with Icelander last night felt pretty good. There was some good players there. A lot of guys came from out of town to play at the event, so felt pretty good to get there. Okay, so, all right, with that in mind, let's jump in. We'll see what this guy's doing. Dromai, oh boy. Starting off with a rough one. Let's see. Against Dromai, we want to go first. I want to have as much setup time as possible. Tunic, Coronet Peak, Iron Rock Gauntlet, and Stormstriders. AB is not super important, but we do have AB2 through Stormstriders, so something to think about. Hypothermia, Blizzard are very good. We want our extra popper. Pursuit of Knowledge is great. This is a matchup where Emerita Scolding is not very good. I'm not a huge fan of it here. Brain Freeze is also pretty lackluster. So let's see. We're on 42 blues, so we're going up to 46. So if we cut 2 Brain Freezes, we'll be on 44, which I feel like gives us plenty. I feel like that puts us in a pretty decent spot. All right, so let's see. Dromai, we're going first. Yeah, I'm honestly just kind of inclined to pass here. They don't have any AB. They're playing Snapdragon Scalers. It's interesting. I'm going to Arsenal the Cold Snap here. I'd rather be able to block with a Frosting if I can, so... honestly, we might not be doing... Well, I'll probably be playing the Cold Snap and then using my cards to either kill something or... They're playing Lava Burst. Is this like aggro Dromai? Excuse me. So you're going to attack. We're going to pitch this because it gives us a card. And they have to pay 1 or let us freeze their other Ashwing. I'm curious to know what they do here. The other one. Yeah, I'm going to take this here because we have a pretty solidly aggressive turn. Like, I'm going to take 1 here. They want to activate Furnace. It's going to cost them 2 because of the Frostbite. So that feels pretty good. I also don't know what else they're trying to do here. If they play a Dragon, we're going to Scar for a Scar that. The cool thing about us taking 1 here is that even if they do take the first Scar for a Scar, we can still Scar for a Scar again with no downfall. Yeah, so let's go Waning Moon. And if they want to activate Flame Skull Furnace, they have to pitch 2 reds. Or maybe they have a blue they can pitch. Hey, I always wonder, against who are Icelanders playing the 1 def gloves, 1 defense gloves? Oh, like what? Oh, okay, I got you. I'm following. So honestly, I want Iron Rock Gauntlet over Ironhide Gauntlet. Over. I want Iron Rock Gauntlet over Ironhide Gauntlet when I don't want to have to pitch my cards to block, when I just want to save them. Like Iron Rock Gauntlet is better against Dash, in my opinion. It's better against Briar. It's better against Viserai. Like anything where like every single resource you have is relevant, in my opinion, it's better to be on the Iron Rot as opposed to Ironhide Gauntlet. Now, I don't know if everybody agrees with that or not, but that's how I feel about it, and that's how I sideboard. So I really hate to throw my Scar for a Scars at these Ashwings, but I do think it's necessary because we have to keep the board clear. Like if I don't keep the board clear, then we're just going to get down quickly. Like being able to deal with the Rake the Embers is very important. Now I'm gonna say draw a card here, and I'm gonna go face here. I'd rather try and put some pressure on my opponent. Matchups where we don't attack with Moon too much. I'm trying to think. So, I mean, like I try to use Waning Moon as much as possible. Actually not going to Arsenal that just because it's a bust. I mean, I try to use my Waning Moon as much as I can. So I mean, I think playing one block over 2 block is better for when you are trying to utilize your Waning Moon, but you want the 2 block against like Guardians because like that block is that much more important. And it's kind of my thought process behind it. So if my opponent's just willing to pass here, that's fine. I'm still going to throw my Fighting Spirit at... Yeah, I'll just go to 31 here. It's fine. I don't really want to block a Fighting Spirit on that. I'm going to take the 1. Not paying for that. We go to 31. Let's see. So, Hypothermia is a really good card, but this is definitely a second cycle game. So, I think pitching it to Coronet Peak, arsenaling the Frost Hex is really good here. I mean, the other option is play Frost Hex and then pitch Fighting Spirit and use Tunic to Waning Moon, and I just think that's very inefficient. I don't like that. I think getting a card out of their hand with Hypothermia is fine here. We're getting a card out of their hand, and we're going to get to Arsenal Frostex. It's worth noting that Frostex is a very important part of this winning game plan, at least in my opinion. Like, Frostexes are pretty much necessity to winning winning games like this. We're going to go and put this into play, force them to play around the Frostbite. It's going to be a Ravenous Rabble for 4. I mean, I'm just going to take 4 here. Like, I'm not going to waste my bus on... Like, I'm not going to spend my 2 blocks on blocking a Ravenous Rabble. Like, that's just not value. There's no worth there. It is, like, while it is good, it is also unfortunate that I've seen 3 of my 7 busts in the first 3 turns of the game. I've heard 2 extreme strategies. Some people say you got a Hex combo Dramage, others say it's a full tempo matchup. So, I mean, to the people that say it's a full tempo matchup, I definitely hear what they're saying. I don't know that I entirely agree with that statement. I don't think you have to, so I'm gonna pitch stack a Wounded Bull here. Sorry, I know I haven't really answered your question. But yeah, I'm going to pitch stack a Wounded Bull here. Second cycle poppers are important. At least having 1 back in there is good because there's still 4 more in the deck. So, so far I'm losing both takes, lol. I feel that. Honestly, I really do. I have been losing a lot playing as Iyslander. Against Dromai. I think I have... God, this hand's terrible. I mean, the Pursuit of Knowledge is cool, but everything else is trash. I have about... I would say that I have, like, 30 games as Iyslander versus Dromai, and so far I've won 3 of them. Like, it's 1 in 10, in my opinion, that you can actually squeak one out. Transform, target Ash. It gets +1. So we put Wounded Bull and Polar Blast on the bottom. Pitch stack an Ice Vein here. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm losing a lot too, and, like, I get it. Like, so the games that I'm winning, I am, I don't know what my opponent just undid there. Yeah, like, the games that I'm losing, I am just getting beat up in the early game. It's so bad that I can't come back ever. But... the games that I'm winning, double, all right. I mean, but the games that I'm winning are, like, the games that I'm winning are close the whole way, and then I have, I have a Pursuit of Knowledge that hits, or I have a bust late game, or I've set up 2 to 3 Frost Hex altogether. I mean, like, I think it's both. Like, you need some variation of tempo and Frost Hex's Ice Eternal, like, play to be able to win the game. Like, I don't think you win the game by doing one or the other. I think both is necessary. So it's kind of funny that I'm about to do this because I did this last night and I thought it was incorrect, but I am about to turn around and do it again. I'm going to Arsenal my Pursuit of Knowledge, Now, last night I did it playing against Control Dash. It ended up really biting me in the butt. It was really not good for me to arsenal my Pursuit of Knowledge, but here I think it's fine considering the matchup that I have. Now, this is not bad because I can Scar for a Scar, E-Strike, and then Pursuit of Knowledge here, and I can still arsenal my Ether Hell because I want to second cycle my Ice Eternal. Putting one on the bottom of the deck for second cycle is very good. And see, the fact that they made an Ether Ashwing this turn is really good because Pursuit of Knowledge is great. I am having to take a little bit of a beating here. So I've taken 7 so far, and I know that right now I have more than that coming back. They're playing Burn Away? What? I have yet to see a Dromaya list like this. I am intrigued by their list. Now, like, this person's playing aggro. So, like, the whole Frost Hex setup, like, I'm probably not going to be able to get all 3 of them into play to make something happen. Like, it's just not going to happen. So they take 4. I think I might just be... So I definitely should have blocked with the Enlightened Strike. I was not thinking about that. So I missed out on damage. I mean, I think I'm still going to take this line and just choose to not have an arsenal. Like, it kind of sucks, but I think it's the correct play here. Yeah, so I definitely think that blocking with the Enlightened Strike, staying at 23, and then just scarring them for 4, and then hitting the Ashwing with Pursuit of Knowledge to be able to have 5 cards in an arsenal would have been insane. I kind of missed out on like one of the things that I want the most here from this hand. So Dust Up is a good one to throw Iron Rock Gauntlet at. So Insidious Chill is a good card to get into play, but Channel Lake just stops their whole turns almost. So let's see. I can block with Ice Bolt, Iron Rock Gauntlet, and then on my turn, and then I can also block with Polar Blast. And then I can pitch Insidious Chill, play Ether Ice Vein, show Channel Lake, Arsenal Channel Lake after I rip out my headset. I think that's I think this is the correct play. Now, there are some other on-hit effects in Dromai, but they also have no action point by playing the Dust Up. So I know that there's nothing else coming this turn. So I get to Ether Ice Vein, and I get to Waning Moon them, and I get to Arsenal Channel Lake Frigid. Okay, I did not see that coming. I give my opponent that. I don't even bring the defense reactions in here, so I tip my hat to my opponent here. They got me, and this is not something I would ever play around in a in a competitive scene. So bop them. That's right, Ben. We're gonna let them have it, bro. What is this? What is this? Is there Phoenix Flames in their deck for them to search for? There is. So we're not going to have nearly as much tempo as I thought we were because I thought the turn was going to be over. I'm also not going to get to Waning Moon them now on my turn. So I'm going to take the Ashwing here, go to 15, and then I'm going to take the Phoenix Flame. Oh, they're going to keep the Phoenix Flame? Okay, I mean, that's fine. I'm still going to Arsenal the Channel Lake Frigid. I think it's the best option. If we had more tempo, if I felt more comfortable and felt like we had more tempo in this situation, I would be more inclined to keep the Insidious Chill to establish a board presence and try to go for Frost X combo. But I think with the state that we're in, we just need to keep the Channel Lake Frigid because the Channel Lake Frigid is going to give us a good bit of tempo. Plus, keeping Channel Lake frigid when we have Tunic counter up basically gives us free Waning Moon. Bunch of little things like that kind of paired together give us the best chance at winning what I would definitely call the 5% matchup. I guess they could have Snapdragons Dust Up. Alright. So this is pretty good. I'm going to pitch. Man, that's a lot of ice cards. It tells me that we're probably not going to get us another turn out of this. We could play Hypothermia and pitch Ether Hell on our turn. Well, no, I'd rather pitch the Channel Lake and... No, I'd rather pitch the Ether Hell. So... I'm going to pitch the Hypothermia. I think that's the... Good Lord. Ugh, that hurt. Oh, that honey mustard sauce is coming back to get me from lunch earlier. Whew. Alright, so they have one resource floating. Considering they're playing an aggro deck, I honestly think that considering they're playing an aggro deck, I honestly believe that having Channel Lake out as long as possible is going to be the key to winning this game, because Channel Lake is just going to keep so much value for us. So we block 3 with Frost Hex, peek them with Channel Lake Frigid, and then Arsenal the Ether Hell, and shut their turn down when they go to attack with the Chromai. Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. I think staying like having one Frost Hex is like fine. Waning Moon, let's take the lead. The fact that we're ahead at this point in the game is insane. Like, it's just actually insane that we're ahead at this point in the game. Pitch Channel Lake. We haven't seen the third one, so there is another one rolling back around. I wish there was a way that I do not feel, before I look at my next hand, I don't feel comfortable that we're going to have another turn of Channel Lake. But, wow, I guess we might have an opportunity to do that. So, we pitch Ice Eternal. How are we going to do that is the question. Are we going to have to keep... Okay, so are we going to have to... So we can keep the Blizzard, keep the Frosting, and we can just give them 3 Frostbites and pass to them on our turn, which means we're going to use Pursuit of Knowledge to kill the Chromai here. Which means we take no damage. They do keep their action point, but we take no damage, which is fine. Then we're going to get to Waning Moon them, and then Frosting and Blizzard are going to give us the opportunity to keep Channel Lake around for one more turn, which is honestly kind of like a godsend if you want the truth. I mean, the other option... So, my opponent has 2 reds. Well, they only have AB1, so... Yeah, I mean, they might as well just, like, unless they're wanting to get cards out of their hand, they might as well just pitch here. Yeah, the fact that our opponent has 0 AB is just, like, really good for us. I mean, I guess technically they have Skull Cap. They could block it if they wanted to, but it's not something that comes up super regularly, so... Ooh, they went to 10. Putting Pursuit of Knowledge on the bottom is weird because like they have an Ashwing out and we could just take the free 5 intellect here, but it's like it's so good. I think that having Channel Lake around for one more turn is insane. So we're just gonna play this and I'm not gonna fuse. And then we're gonna check channel, putting Blizzard closer to the top. So it's not enough, brother, because you got to pay for Channel Lake too. You can't do anything because you got 3 reds stuck in your hand. Let's go. All right, so I mean, you're gonna pitch all 4 reds to Phoenix Flame me here. Okay. Like, okay, bet. I don't really know what else to say here. Like, it's just good for us. Now, unfortunately, there is no way to keep the Channel Lake around for a 3rd turn, so we can hope that we see one next turn. But what I am going to do here is... So the question is keeping Amulet or keeping Frost Hex better. We already have a Frost Hex in play, so I think keeping the Amulet is better because we're basically just going to strip a card from them. I mean, if they're playing this aggro Dromai list, there's probably like 4 to 6 blues in their list. So we're going to go Ether Ice Vein, pitching Frost Hex, fusing with Amulet of Ice. We're going to go upstairs because they're at 9. This feels like a very inexperienced Dromai player, or this I can't tell if they're inexperienced or if like we're just like this aggro list just does not play into what I'm trying to do here. Pitch Ether Ice Vein to come in for 2, and then my opponent concedes. All right, yeah, we're gonna take that win. I mean, that is. Whew. We'll take the wins as they come. That's all I'm gonna say, because that's not how your average game of playing against Dromai goes. We ended the game at 15. At 15. GG, thanks, man. I appreciate it. That is like 4 wins and like actually somewhere between 30 and 35 games. Like, and honestly, that one felt very comfortable. If that makes any sense. If you play Iyslander pretty regularly, I'm sure you know what I mean, but that one just felt pretty comfortable. Like I never really felt like we were sweating what was happening. Well, I do not think we will have the same fortune here. I will choose to go first. I am able to go first. Alright, so we're going to do Iron Rock Gauntlet, Tunic, Stormstriders, Hypo, Bust, Blizzard, and we took out Scoldings and 2 Brain Freezes, which honestly felt fine. I like taking out Scoldings here because we're not really ever getting them into a place to where... we're not really ever getting them into a place to where like that 4 damage at the end of the turn is just a blowout or anything. Interesting take with Pursuit against Dromai. Yeah, so that was something that the team that I'm a part of actually came up with when we were talking about how to beat Dromai and what a good solution might be. And so I've been testing Pursuit of Knowledge quite a bit here recently, and it's felt pretty good. Like Pursuit of Knowledge has felt pretty good in this matchup, honestly. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't tried Pursuit of Knowledge, I would. If you can find a way to try and slide it into your sideboard somehow or into your deck, I would try it. So let's see what they do. If they pitch a blue, I'm probably going to hold on to the Cold Snap here. But if they pitch a red, then I'm probably going to play the Cold Snap. Comparing to your list, I'm playing this rounds in place of Pursuits, good against Fies too. Yeah. So this rounds on me is awesome. One of the guys at the event yesterday, him and I actually talked about that. He was playing this rounds on me This Rounds on Me is a very good card, and I think I don't have any like problems playing This Rounds on Me. It's just not really something I felt like I needed. Maybe it's just my experience. I've only played about 5 to 7 games against Fi, but I have yet to lose. And it could just be my experience. It could just be who I'm playing against. But you know, they're good players. It's not like they're bad or anything. Like I know they're good players, and I'm still. It's still like I don't feel like I need This Rounds on Me for Fi specifically. Though I believe pursuits are nice against Fi too. Yeah, 100%. So Fi is. Am I lagging here? What's happening? They pitched a red, so I am gonna go ahead and play this. We're gonna pitch the Polar Blast here. So we'll see how they react. They take the Frostbite. We draw Red Ether Ice Vein. Now that changes everything. That changes everything. Red Ether Ice Vein is one of those like powerhouse cards. But yeah, I mean, Pursuits are really good against Fi. Like, Pursuits are really good against a lot of things, honestly. Pursuit of Knowledge is just a very good card in general. They pitch 1, take 2. Okay, so what are our options here? We can go Enlightened Strike, put Ether Ice Vein on the bottom into Pursuit of Knowledge, which will... I doubt they'll give us Crown of Providence this early in the game, so they'll block with Furnace and a card from their hand. Or we can go pitch Pursuit of Knowledge, reveal Ice Bolt for Ether Ice Vein, and then Arsenal the Ice Bolt and pass. I mean, I don't know, that doesn't seem bad. I think that is better than us not having an Arsenal here. Plus, I want the Pursuits to hit something. And if the Pursuits aren't really going to hit anything, then it's not that great. Plus, us being able to second cycle a Pursuit of Knowledge is pretty solid plan here. I like that. They take 5 and discard Vincerikai. So the other option is that I can Arsenal, I can Waning Moon here for 2, and then Arsenal the Enlightened Strike, and just plan on having an attack heavy turn. I think that puts us more on the front foot, and I like that plan better because we're putting. They want to keep their hand here, so we're putting more pressure on. We're gonna put Pursuit up first. Yeah, so they're going to tone back to 35. This version of the deck is honestly the one that scares me the most because Pursuit, like Tome of Fiendals, are just crazy. Like gaining life, as Iyslander playing this matchup, I feel like I have to fight and scratch for every single point I get over the course of the game. And so, like having them just gain 4 life, like literally just reset. Like it basically just like was almost my Ether Ice Vein. So we're definitely going to bust this because we want to get Necri off the field anytime we can. So I'm thinking Enlightened Strike for 5 go again, putting Fighting Spirit on the bottom because that still leaves us with 5 busts left in the deck that we have yet to see, and we're pitch stacking one of them because this feels like this will be a longer game. And then we can, we're going to pick Go again on E-Strike. We're going to Coronet Peak them, and then we're going to Arsenal and Ice Vein. And I think that's the best play. I think I would rather do 5 as opposed to 7 because each card has a value of 3 on average. So if we're taking, 7 is good, but if we do 5 and then we Coronet Peak them, that has an average value of 8. So we're technically gaining a point by doing it this way. And they didn't block, which means they want to keep their hand. So now it makes my play feel that much better in my opinion. Yeah, like strip a card from their hand, and then we're going to arsenal this Ether Ice Vein. Now, we can either use this on them, or we can use this on one of their things. Whew. So, we spend a bust on one of the Embers. We're going to go upstairs. Like, obviously, we're going to go upstairs because we haven't let anything happen yet. Alright, so they're going to take 2. We're going to bust this. Anything we can get off the field is great here. I'm going to Coronet Peak them with the Ice Bolt here. I want to put the Ice Bolt back in the deck because having the Ice Bolt in the deck is more damage than the Ether Hell. The Ether Hell can deal with less things than the Ice Bolt. I know that I have Tunic up, and I have the ability to go Ice Bolt one of the Ether Ash Wings and then Tunic into Waning Moon. But I think with where we're at in the game, I'd rather keep the Ether Hell as it is a weaker spell. Okay, so now it's decision time. Is Tumultai the kill an equipment or take cards from your hand, Dragon? Yeah, it's the equipment, Dragon. So we have to respond to whatever we're going to do here. So I like busting. We bust Tumultai here to stop from taking damage. We pitch Hypothermia to Ether Hell and then get in for some damage. And then we play Insidious Chill, pitching Ice Eternal and pass. Hails and Frostings are actually very valuable here for killing Ashwings. Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. It took me a moment of playing this matchup to figure that out, but I completely agree with you. So, okay. I'm going to kill an Ashwing. Giving them a Frostbite, I know, prevents them from being able to do anything else here. So I feel very comfortable with that. I'm curious to know what they would kill here, because I don't think it would be... I mean, it might be Tunic. I don't know. So we kill that. Let's see what they hit. They do flip 2 reds. They kill our Stormstriders. That is not surprising. They have nothing left, so we're going to 3 them here and go upstairs. So they only have 1 Ashwing, and we're continuing to pick their hand apart. I feel like I'm in a better spot to Coronet Peak them and then arsenal the Insidious Chill. Huh. They chose to pitch Sigil of Solace. Interesting. We also have yet to see a Channel Lake Frigid, and that is worth noting. How many busts is that? That's just so many busts that we've seen. 3, 4. We pitched 1, which means there's only 2 left in the deck. Okay. So... So we... So they have 2 resources floating, so like... Yeah, we're gonna go to 31 here, which is not great. This is one of those tough decisions that I'm never really sure how to play it out. So we're gonna go. I know that they have AB4 and it like they can pitch 2 cards and keep and like not like have nothing happen here, like which is fine if that's what they want to do. But this means they only have 1 card in their hand, which means basically when they start to do anything, I can just Insidious chill and try to shut their turn down. Like unless it's a blue, which is very possible. So we're gonna pitch Blizzard. We're gonna pitch Frost Hex to play Frost Hex and then Arsenal Frosting. Yeah, I think that's the correct play here. So they are building a board presence and it is quite obnoxious, but we're also trying to shut their turn down here with the Frostbites. Like the Frostbite doesn't allow them to attack, so I don't think it's worth 3 damage. I think getting a Frost Hex into play is just better. So, or the other option is, no, I definitely like my play better because the Frosting has the ability to shut down their whole turn. I like the original line better than I did the second one that I came up with on the fly there. So this is an awkward hand. Like it's so funny, but like having Brothers in Arms here would just be strictly better than not. That's a problem. Now, the good news is that we have 2 answers. So it doesn't matter what they take here. We actually have 3 answers to Dominia, but still. Burn them all. Alright, so what are you taking here? You taking my Polar Blast here? Honestly, not a terrible option. I don't entirely think you're wrong if you do take my Polar Blast. Yeah, I'm not sure what they take here. I'm kind of curious to know. They take Scar for a Scar. Yeah, they have 2 floating, so we'd only be dealing 1 damage, so we're saving 3 life this way, as opposed to trying to deal 2 when they already have a bunch of resources floating. So we're gonna go to 27 here. We're gonna kill their attacker here. So it shuts down their turn. They get a Frostbite. They'll pay for it. But I was like, at least I assume they will. Now, the unfortunate part about this and the way this is set up is that I do not have an Arsenal. Okay, finding a bust here is really good. Sucks. Like, that's... Two busts have come on 2 Chromai turns on first cycle, which is pretty unfortunate. But, I mean, it is what it is. Like, we need some things to go right for us. So I'm going to have to keep... I'm going to have to block. We're going to bust this so that we take nothing. And then they have at least 6 more on the board. Let's make that 9. Which means I can block with Brain Freeze here. So if I block with Brain Freeze, I stay at 27. I take 6, go to 21, and then I E-strike the Asvalai and draw a card. Like, I'm not a huge fan of any of these plays here, but they're ending their turn on Dust Up. Like, again, this is one of those ones that sucks, but we have to take the Dust Up here. I'd rather have to deal with an Ashwing later than I would have to deal with the Asvalai the rest of the game. Put this on the bottom, draw a card, kill Asvalai. Okay, now that's what I'm talking about. We have yet, that's our first Channel Lake Frigid we've seen all game. Okay. So and see, we've started to lose tempo of the game. So Channel Lake Frigid, like Channel Lake Frigid is a tempo card. Like Channel Lake Frigid is designed to be a tempo card at any and all states of the game. Now that, so if you're playing against Dromai and they're playing Thermais in their list, like it's tough. And by tough, I mean like virtually impossible. Because it, like, Thermai just shuts down so many things. They get a Frostbite. Channel Lake Frigid becomes a thing. We're going to go ahead and use Tunic because if we can't activate abilities or do anything after Thermai's in play. So now the really crappy part is that we don't have an answer for it. So we're going to have to find an answer next turn. Either in the form of an attack or in the form of an arcane spell that we can play during our own turn. And then after that, we can try to set up some Ice Eternal shenanigans and try to make something happen here. They lost 0 life. And then they lose 1 life to the Arcane, to the Frostbite. So we play Amulet of Ice because it has Go again. We activate Coronet Peak with Frosting and then Arsenal the Ice Eternal. We get to keep Channel Lake in play and we get to set up an Ice Eternal. Alright, none of those cards deal with the Thermai. I mean, these cards are very good, and they do give us the ability to keep Channel Lake in play. So we get to pitch. Yeah, they're just setting up as much of a board presence as they can. So play Insidious Chill. The one card we're going to keep in our hand is going to be Channel Lake. Because if we don't find an answer, Channel Lake's going to have to be our answer to things. So, like, Channel Lake is going to have to, like, provide enough disruption for us to have a chance to get back into this game. I'd rather have the Insidious Chill and then the Ether Hell. Okay. Now, this we can work with. We can make them get rid of some cards, and then we can ice it. Oh, no. It's so bad. It's so bad. Ugh. Man. Womp womp. So what are we doing here? Like, there's just actually nothing here that we're doing. We're going to block 3, and then they're going to come in with an Ashwing here. Like, that's the correct play, because they should be playing around poppers at this point, too, in the game. So Fuse. We're going to hit a Thermai, because we got to start somewhere. We have to start somewhere. There's the automatic cat feeder in the background. So they discard a card. They discard a card. I gotta keep the Channel Lake because if I don't draw another answer, I'm gonna have to put the Channel Lake into play. Like, it's unfortunate, but it's the situation that we're in. Now, if they kept 2 cards that do give them the ability to put us at less life, that would be good for us. So, block the Frosting, Scar for a Scar. So block with Frosting. They're going to attack us after that. We're going to Scar for Scar Thermi. We're going to Pursuit of Knowledge Mirror Guy. And then we're going to try to go ham. Like, those are our options. Okay. I like it. I mean, I don't like it. The fact that they've seen 2 Thermis. Ooh, interesting. They attacked with Thermi. Oh, Channel Lake's not in play anymore. Yeah, this is going to be a shellacking, but we got to take it. Oh, they attack with Thermi because they know we don't have any poppers. Yeah. So, in my head, I don't know why Channel Lake was still in play, and we had another turn of freedom, but we don't. Man, could you imagine if I had done all that just to debate that guy into doing that? Okay. So... Thermi. 4 go again. And we're going to kill Mirror Guy. And we're going to get a 5th Intellect. And honestly, 5th Intellect on an Ice Eternal turns where you want to be at. Should I Tunic and Waning Moon here? No, I didn't play an on-attack. What am I doing? So I can pitch Pursuit, Cold Snap, reveal Amulet of Ice. Is this a joke? Jeez. All right. So we're going to pitch. We're going to pitch Pursuit of Knowledge, Blizzard Cold Snap, Reveal Amulet of Ice for 4. So we'll leave 1 floating so we can also tune it, so we can also Waning Moon them, and we'll get to deal some damage this way. They'll also have to discard or pay. They'll activate Furnaces in response. And then I get to Enlighten Strike their Thermi, putting Amulet of Ice on the bottom to grant draw a card. Okay. All right. So it's weird because Insidious Chill normally is better because there's more value because you get 3 triggers of it as opposed to Amulet of Ice you get to pick. But Amulet of Ice would actually be better in this spot because I would not choose to trigger Insidious Chill here if I was able to. But I want to deal the arcane damage. I mean, Sigil of Solace is the same thing here. So, I mean, that's fair. So, they get 4 Frostbites. They take 4. They can't do anything. They're losing 1 life from that stuff. What's happening? Why did I not get an option to tune it? I must have clicked through the window without realizing. Gonna be honest, like that, they should be at 14. So if we get to a point to where we could have killed them with 3 more points, then we know that me misclicking kind of did the game for us there. We're gonna pick draw a card, and we're gonna kill Thermi. Wow, drawing Hypothermia there is Broken. Talk about having a chance. Scar for a Scar into Ice Vein. And we have Channel Lake here. Thermai was in play. Ah, Thermai was in play. You're correct. Good call. Thank you. One of those things that I was not thinking about. So I am going to have to take 6 here. Because I need all of my cards to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish here. You get a Frostbite. So next 3 Draconic cards you play. Because we're going to take all the cards out of their hand. With the Insidious Chills. The Amulet's got to be coming back around soon. I pitched one earlier in the game, so... Yep. We go to 6. I don't like being down 11, but I think giving myself a shot here to have a chance to win the game. All right, so we're going to Scar for Scar Chromai. We got to get that off the field. Like, just continuing to leave that on the field is just going to cause us nothing but problems. We're going to pitch, reveal Channel Lake, and we're going to go upstairs with this. Like, this is, like, we're going to strip 2 cards out of their hand, at least. And we're going to try and deal some damage here, because we got to stay in the game. I don't think this is where we want to crack our Amulet of Ice, but... And now we got 4 Arcane coming at him. Yeah, I don't think this is it. I think we want to save it for another turn. Drawing a Pauper here is really good. All right, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Is that seriously? Let's see. So there's 3 Wounded Bulls, 3 Red Fighting Spirits, and a yellow one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so there's 1 more left in the deck. Interesting. Would not have saw that coming. We're going to pitch Polar Blast to Pursuit of Knowledge, one of these. Get this off the field. And then we're going to use Channel Lake to try and shut their turn down here with more cards in our hand. So... there's our last Pauper. I'm going to keep Ice Bolts and a Ice Vein to be able to play during my turn, and then Arsenal and Ice Bolt. And that way we'll be able to keep Channel Lake around. It's also got to be Ice Eternals coming back up. So he played Mirror Guy. So to attack with Mirror Guy, you have to spin 2 to attack with it, which is fine. They're going to play Caloria. Which, you know, honestly, They have nothing left here. Man, I hate Defense Fighting Spirit just to not pop a card here. That feels so bad to me. But they're not going to attack with anything else, which means there's nothing else that we're going to hit. So am I going to waste my last popper to stop them from drawing a card to Arsenal or to prevent AB with? Or am I going to... Oh... Yeah, it's terrible, but I think I have to. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of this play. Gonna be honest, I don't know what else our turn looks like, though, if we're not doing this. So they go to 14 here. So we're at least making some headway. So am I hitting Caloria here, or am I going upstairs after them, force them to pitch a blue, and then... No, I have Ice Bolt for the Caloria. So I'm definitely going upstairs, because this is definitely going to be a Kraken Amulet of Ice turn. Because the fewer cards they have, the better for me. We'll kill Caloria with the bolt. Yeah. I was like, it took me like an extra second to realize it, but yeah, absolutely. So they're pitching one to do that, to play Sand Cover. And then, you know what? They have 2 cards in hand. Channel, like doing this almost guarantees us some damage this way. That checks channel. I like these Ice Eternals this late in the game. So we're gonna kill their attacker, deal them a damage, pitch Ice Eternal to play Frost Hex, and then Arsenal Hypothermia. Because we're at the point in the game where we have to try and combo kill them, I think. I think this is where we're at. I think we're stuck saying we're gonna combo kill them. So the other option is to play Ice Eternal, give them 3 Frostbites, and keep my Channel Lake Frigid around. So I basically shut down their turn. Well, I say shut down their turn. They've pitched a lot of yellows and a lot of blues, so I think Hypothermia has a higher chance of being effective and them not having Channel Lake Frigid. But we're setting up to have Ice Eternal 5 hands from now. There's the 3rd Frost Hex. If we can get Amulet and that into play, I honestly think we're like in the best spot possible. They've played a Sigil of Solace already. They played any more? They just played the 1. Yeah, they just played 1 Tome and 1 Sigil, so they're definitely left in the deck. Hang on one second, guys. Somebody just knocked on my door. Okay. Alright, so how do I have my headset on? Because it does not feel right now. Let's see. So Mirror Guy's coming in. They think it has go again. We throw the Frost Hex. So we block with Polar Blast, pitch Blizzard to play Frost Hex, and then Arsenal Amulet of Ice. It seems fine. We've already played our other Hypothermia, so I'm pretty sure we did anyway. Yeah. It's like, so this is definitely our last shut their turn down card. Take that back. Is there one more Channeling Frigid in the deck? One. There is one more Channeling Frigid in the deck, and I'm honestly wondering if it's in the next hand, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more. So we're going to play Frost Hex, pitching Blizzard, and then we are going to Arsenal this. Now, they don't know that this isn't like our last Channel Lake or something. Unfortunately, it's not. So I'm going to keep this Ether Hell here. Part of me thinks I might should have waited. I should have held the Amulet of Ice a little bit longer just to try and make them wonder what we had. We'll block 3. We'll block 2. We're going to take the Ashwings here. They put us to 4. We're going to make them wonder. We honestly might get away without having to block with the Insidious Chill. No, they're just going to push it. All right. I can't blame them. I would. This late in the game, I would strip all the cards out of my hand, out of my opponent's hand that I could. Oh, wow. 2 for 6 here, huh? Well, I'm going to be honest. I don't think there's a way out of this one. There is. I don't know what it looks like because we don't have Storm Striders at all. Well, that'll kill us. Just 2 Arcane over the top that we can do nothing about. Yeah, that'll do it. Yep. I mean, so I know that like the life totals, Amulet is also representing 3 damage. Oh yeah, absolutely. So like the life totals may not have been very close there. Like it may have been 13-0 at the end of the game, but that was definitely not a far, like that game was not far off. We actually had a real chance to win that game, which is crazy to me because we played through 3 Thermise. Played through 3 Thermise and had a chance to win the game. Like, I don't think that's ever happened before. So, oh, let's see. 1-1. We won the first Thermise game and then we lost the second one. Yeah, so I mean, I don't really know what decisions I could have made differently or done differently there. Like it felt like a very, very close match. Hey, Keshkar, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, so my opponent pitch stacked Burned Them All and Asvaline in the same hand, which is a very good decision late in the game against me because they're banking on the fact that they've seen their Tumultine and they've been able to destroy an equipment. Which is really cool. So it was a good play by my opponent. All right, so we're playing against Dash. So if I don't know I'm playing against Control Dash or not, I'm going to bring in Iron Rock Gauntlet. If I'm playing against Control Dash, I'm going to bring in Metacarpus Nodes to try and push through some extra points at the end of the game. But I think, considering I don't know what I'm playing against, I think Blizzard, Hypothermia, and Sink Belows are the play here. This is a matchup where I do not like Pursuit of Knowledge. I'm not a big fan of it. They most of the time have AB3, so being aware of that is pretty good. Brain Freeze is not a great card in this matchup. And what else do I normally cut? Normally, this is Brothers in Arms, and I cut Brothers in Arms because I'm not a fan of Brothers in Arms against Dash. Scolding's good because it gets over. We'll cut an Insidious Chill. We'll cut one Insidious Chill because I don't think that's a terrible plan. Insidious Chill is a good card, but it can also be kind of detrimental based off the fact that you have to use it. And that's one of the reasons that I like Amulet better than I like Insidious Chill. Let's see. Playing on Talishar. We're playing against Dash. And I'm not sure if we're going first or second. So we'll see what happens. Oh, man. They're playing Teklo Pounder? Oh, dude. Thanks for playing, bro. This game is so over. So, for anybody who's not aware, I mean, like, unless they just put a chamber into play, like, it's really tough for us to lose this match. So, Control Dash is one of those decks, or like this, like when they're playing Teklo Pounder Dash, you can just fatigue them. Like, I am not even kidding. That's not a joke. You can just infinitely block and fatigue them. And I say that with the utmost confidence. So we're going to put this on the bottom, and we're going to say go again. Because I'm going to pressure them. If they want to block here, if they want to try and save some life, then cool. Fine by me. Does not bother me at all. Plus, that Findle's Fighting Spirit is going to be really good late in the game. One, because it'll gain its life, and two, because it'll be a big attack at the end of the game that will allow us to win. So, yeah, most of the time these Dash decks, like, they just can't put out enough power to kill you before you can fatigue them before they run out of cards. So we're getting ready to find out if that statement stands. All of this comes from the fact that I've played 2 matchups into the Teklo Pounder Dash deck. So take everything I've said with a grain of salt. Coronet Peak is generally a very valuable card in this matchup, because it gives me the ability to... Coronet Peak gives me the ability to make their hands less explosive, and honestly, that's what I'm concerned about. Channel Lake is also a very good card. So this is automatically for 8. I'm going to block 6 here. Take 2, we'll go to 34. And then I'm going to have Sink Below here to use. I'm going to leave Channel Lake Frigid in my hand. Alright, so they've had a really good start, honestly. Getting all 3 Teklo Pounders into play in the first 2 turns is very good for them. And I say that as a person who has played a crap ton of Dash. Now, with that in mind, I'm still going to pitch the Polar Blast here to play CLF, because this hand is, like, I get to do that and then block for 7, and, oh, yes. Let's go. You love to see that. Now, granted, they still might be able to, like, have a really good turn. Dash plays, like, 20... A lot of the Dash lists nowadays play, like, 20 lists. My list plays 21 or... Yeah, it plays 21. I honestly think that extra blue just helps in so many ways. Now, a lot of people were playing Yellow Throttle, but I have went to Red Scramble Pulse, which is different. So all right. That is for 14, which is absolutely bonkers. All right, we're going to go to 26 here. Now, unfortunately, I have no way to keep the channel lake around, but we were able to stop their turn at least a little bit. What do they boost over? Boosted over 3 red cards? Get those out of here. This is for 10. Sheesh. I mean, like, having my equipment to throw at combustible courier is very important. Now, the good news is that I'm at 26, and that was their last massive turn that they'll have the rest of the game, just because of the Tekla Foundry Heart, or the Tekla Pounders. Gonna load their pistol. All right, so we take 2, go to 21. I mean, so the Tekla Pounders are the scary part. Why blocking here? Because I believe that that you can fatigue dash just based off the way their deck is set up. So let's see, they've boosted over 5 reds already. That's my reason for blocking here, is that I don't need to be able to play things on their turn. Now, the Hypothermia, that's a card I'll probably try to keep in my hand. Blizzard doesn't block, so we'll just tax them and make their hand a little bit more awkward. Arsenaling the Hypothermia here will be good because it'll help us here. Even at the cost of not keeping Lake. Yeah, so not keeping Channel Lake, that was honestly probably a mistake there. I think I got a little bit too high on the fatigue them plan a little bit too quickly. I definitely think it was correct to... I definitely think it was correct to keep like the Polar Blast or whatever it was to be able to keep my Channel Lake around one more turn. I definitely think that was the correct play. So I'm going to block 3, play Hypothermia here. They got a card out of their deck, and I'm going to 11, and I'm going to give them 3 Frostbites on my turn, and then just pass to them. I mean, like 3 Frostbites might not like be the end of the world for them, but 3 Frostbites is very taxing. Normally, most people can deal with 1 Frostbite, but dealing with 3 Frostbites is not an easy thing to do because they have to pitch 2 cards right here just to be able to play this. So they pitch 2 cards and they have nothing else. I will show them a Frost Hex. So I'd like to be able to take, like, if they pistol here, are they going to spark for 0, get a Tekla Core? Alright, so being able to shut their turn down with the Ice Eternal was good for us here. Now, like, I know it doesn't look great because we're at 10 and they have 25 cards left, but they'll burn at least 10 of those trying to get through the rest of the game here. So we're going to deal 3 to them. I mean, they can pitch a blue here and keep a 3-card hand with an arsenal, like, which is fine. It's not really, like, terribly taxing for them. I mean, it's very possible that they just have, like, a bunch of reds or something in their hand. I mean, sometimes Dash does have those hands where they have like 2 to 3 reds and it makes their hands very awkward, very uncomfortable. So they take 3 and then they discard maximum velocity. Okay. So I'm going to reveal Scolding here, and then I'm going to block with it. Like, if all their breakpoints like push over 1 point, then like so be it. It is what it is. Yep, Coronet Peak. We'll take a card away from them this turn. Like, I think taking cards out of their hand is good. We haven't seen any. We've only seen 1 high octane boosted. We haven't seen any more. I about bet they have 1 arsenaled because they have a card arsenal they haven't played in a couple of turns, and they're probably waiting for a really good turn to be able to go off with it. That or they have like a maximum velocity down there, which is something that you can do. I don't always advise it, but it is possible. So we're going to put this into play, and then we're going to block 5 here. Okay. So I'm just going to take 4 here. I don't think there's really a difference between being at 4 and being at 2. Like, I think I'd rather have the potential to Coronet Peak them later in the game. I can also just use Storm Striders to shut a turn down if I need to. Like, being able to keep this hand would be really good. So block 4, play Hypothermia. Now, they can crack Accelerator here if they want to. Okay. Which means we have to fight through 1 more thing. I mean, we might just be blocking with Ice Vein and Cold Snap here. I don't know what just happened right there. So they're coming in for 6. I'm going to take 1. We're just going to keep the Blizzard here in Arsenal. So I think Storm Striders might be necessary to keep us in the game right here, because our hand does not block particularly well. So this is 2 discard or pay 2 triggers. Now the 4 Arcane is like, it is what it is. Like, we will win the game with the Arcane damage that we have left in our deck. Play Blizzard, give you a Frostbite, and then you have to pay 2 or it loses go again. So there's 2 payloads left in the deck. I honestly wonder if that's what they have arsenaled. No, we will, yep, clicked too many times. We will arsenal this. And so here, wow, double Amulet of Ice. That is not good. We'll reveal Ice Vein because it's what I'm going to block with. We'll block 4. I like saving the Fighting Spirit for the pistol because it'll just net us a life if we can work it out the right way. That'll do it. Yep. Big Sag. So they had 7 cards left in their deck, and honestly, they were pretty lackluster. So if you want the truth, I honestly think that this game was a kind of a testament to what I was saying. And hey, I'll explain here in a second why. Because I know it looks like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I lost the game, and that's unfortunate, but I will explain why I think what I think here in a second. 4. Okay, so when you play against Dash, there's a lot of nuance from the Islander side, and I say that because it's not an easy matchup. It's not a good matchup even when they're playing aggro, but when they're playing Teclo Pounder aggro, like when they're not playing Chamber aggro and they're playing Teclo Pounder aggro, you can fatigue them. And I say that with a lot of confidence because my opponent went turn 0 Teclo Pounder. So he has 2 Teclo Pounders in play, and then on turn 1, on his, or like turn 2, I guess, on his first turn of the game, he plays another Teclo Pounder. So in 2 turns, he has 3 Teclo Pounders in play, and he is putting on just so much pressure that it's just impossible to keep up with. Like, if you don't see all of your defense reactions in a great time, it's just impossible to block with. Come to think of it, I don't remember seeing more than one. I don't think I saw all of them, but you can pretty much always block out Teclo Pounder Dash and just fatigue it. Like, even though Iyslander doesn't block very well, most of the time there'll be a hand or two where they have too many blues or they have too many of this or too many of that. Like, there will almost always be a chance for you to fatigue them. Now, I'm not going to say that's always the case because we just saw an example where that's not the case. They saw 3 Teclo Pounders, and they only had 7 cards left in their deck when the game was over with. Now, like, so not only did they see 3 Teclo Pounders, but they saw 3 Teclo Pounders in the first 2 turns of the game. Like, and I honestly think that says a lot, because I think if they see a Teklo Pounder, like even if they see the first two Teklo Pounders, and then on like the 10th turn of the game, they see the third Teklo Pounder. Like after the first two have come and gone, I still think we're in a good spot. Let's see. This is not a good matchup in my experience. Bravo just puts on too much pressure too fast. Player 2 will go first, so I'm going second. Yeah, I mean, Bravo just like puts on too much pressure too fast. We definitely want Crown of Providence here, and we want Crown of Providence because Guardian plays Command and Conquer. Well, they're probably not playing. I get so. Pummel Command and Conquer does not scare me like it does when I'm playing other decks. So Blizzard's not good. Energy Potion's probably not good. Hypothermia, Fighting Spirit. I mean, Fighting Spirit might be good just to like gain us an extra life. Pursuit of Knowledge is not going to be good here. I do think all of our other things are very relevant though. So let's try it like this and see what happens. Having early Frost Hex is very good. I like to think like this. Coronet in matchups where we play Lakes, Providence if we're not playing Lakes. That's fair. I guess Channel Lake Frigid's not very good here. So this is probably a matchup where you don't want Channel Lake Frigid, but I think Pursuit of Knowledge is worse than Channel Lake Frigid just off the back of how much it blocks for and the fact that it's an ice card. Now, I like your logic, honestly, and I've never thought about it that way, but I do really like your logic. It makes a lot of sense, in my opinion, so I'm very inclined to agree with you. So I'm just going to block 6 and gain a life here, go back to 37. I mean, if they have the pummel, they have the pummel. Yeah, like, they're wasting like, it sucks that they're getting rid of my Frost Hex here, but I'm very surprised that they went for that there. Feels pretty wrong. So I'm going to pitch Ice Eternal because we want to see that late game and just swing for 8 here. Now, the only blocking piece that they have is Tectonic Plating, so they do have AB3, but that also means they're very susceptible to yellow Ice Vein and red Ice Vein, so good with the bad. So, for what it's worth, I didn't mention this until after I blocked, but I made the decision that if they have pummel, they have pummel. And I thought that before I ever did anything there, and it's not really something that I talked about, but I do think it's something that should be known, is that was an actual decision that I made, was to have that. So this is very obnoxious. I mean, it sucks, but I think I'm just blocking with these, and I'm just going to pitch Amulet to play Fighting Spirit here. We're taking a turn where we're guaranteed we're not going to take any damage, just based off the way their hand was set up, and we're going to get the gain of life on the crack back here, because Fighting Spirit does not block very well. So being able to play, like if you have a spot where you can block it and gain some life, then cool, but if not, it's almost always better to, I mean, it is mathematically always better to attack with the Fighting Spirit. Like, that's not a question. That's not something to think about. That is always the case. Like, mathematically, it always makes more sense. You are at best case spending 1 card for 3, or you're spending 2 cards for 7, which is above rate. So, they're just going to go to 31 here. All right. Now, this is a hand. So, we're definitely going to take 7. Question is, are they going to hammer me here? They're going to Zealous Belting, then hammer me? No, they're going to Zealous Belting and pass. Interesting. So let's go scar for scar, forgo again. So we're just going to throw that at that, which is fine. We don't want Channel Lake, so we're going to pitch Channel Lake, reveal with Amulet of Ice. Now, we are just going to have to hang on to the... They take one, and then they pitch to pay. Okay, I mean, this seems like a decent turn for us to try to put some stuff in play. Yeah, so let's put some pressure on. They make a seismic surge, we get to have a 5-point turn. Okay, I mean... So, Coronet peaking is actually not bad here in my opinion. I have seen a few Bravo hands where they get very awkward with reds and blues and what they're doing here, so... We get to Arsenal this. If I can get away with it, I'm very inclined to block with the Fighting Spirit and then use the Amulet of Ice. Or... two Frostbites might honestly just be enough to get me out of the heat here. So they'd have to have something would cost 3. They're just going to hammer here for 6. Yeah, you know, honestly, that's fine. I mean, they're wanting to play whatever's there in their arsenal. We're going to go Ether Ice Vein into that. And then we're going to gain a life and come in for 7 here. We're setting up a pitch stacked Ether Ice Vein fused. I don't know that it'll be relevant. Oh. Keep forgetting to update the record. Lol. I can just tell it's been a while since I've streamed because it's just... I just keep forgetting. But, I mean... We don't have an arsenal here, but I think we made... I think we stopped a massive Bravo on hit effect there. Like, I don't even know what they were going to play, but... So we're going to use Tunic here. We're going to block 9, take 2, because unfortunately we did not have another 3 block in our hand, and if we did, we would have been able to throw 2 3 blocks and the Iron Rock Gauntlet, and then we would have been able to crack back for 8 here. Taking 3, go to 19, and then crack in for 8 would have been really solid. But I'm glad that we were able to avoid the... dominated Bravo with the Cripplet or with the Ice Eternal. Oh, I need to get that out of my car, actually. I won an Ice Eternal mat yesterday. I was pretty excited about it, too. It's pretty cool art. Oh, what? Does 4 more damage to a hero. Oh, my things can't gain. Alright, I mean... I guess I'm not, like, super upset about that or anything. So I think this is a really good spot to just throw 6 and just take nothing here. I'm gonna Waning Moon. I mean, if they want to pitch their other card, then they want to pitch their other card. That's fine. Like, if they're pitching cards to stay in their deck to stop from taking damage here, that means they're not putting pressure on us, which is fine. So I'm gonna Scar for Scar for Go Again here. The fact that this has Go Again, okay. I mean, the fact that this has Go Again at least makes them think here a little bit. Because, you know, knowing that they have 2 cards in their hand, it could be worth to actually just pitch the Insidious Chill here for Coronet Peak. But if they're just going to hammer, I'm more happy to just throw a card or 2 at the hammer and play my Insidious Chill. That feels like exactly what they're going to do. Let's see what they do before. Yeah, so they do a Nothos, so I am going to put Insidious Chill into play, guaranteeing that I'm not going to get hit by a Pummel here, and then I'm going to Arsenal my Frost Hex and start to try to set up a winning game plan here. Now, unfortunately, they have their whole hand, and if they Bravo, then I'm in bad shape. Well, this definitely feels like... I'm going to block with... No, I'm going to block here. And if they pummel me, then I'm going to discard the Brain Freeze. But I was like, if they don't pummel... Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It sucks to go to 13 here. But, like, I think that was by far my best choice. Because now we have a chance to put the second Frost Hex into play and really try to set up and make something happen here. Now, we could just be a Bravo or 2 away from dying. It says an additional cost to play. Oh, so they don't have power to reveal. Listen, I won't complain about that. We take the wins where they come. If they do decide to hammer here, I'm going to pitch Insidious Chill to play Frost Hex. And then I'm going to block Ice Bolt Frosting. So I get to put my Frost Hex into play, Arsenal, and Insidious Chill. And I'm setting up pretty well to kind of go for a combo finish here. Because I think I've seen 2... So this requires a little bit more thinking. Because they are making us discard an Insidious Chill here if we do this. But what? They've played 2 red pummels. We've seen them pitch a blue pummel so far. Like, plus, I don't think discarding an Insidious Chill is the end of the world if they do pummel us. I was like, sometimes I think you have to call and say that they're bluffing. Okay, so they pitched a blue to be able to pay for the Frost Hex triggers. Okay, this is an odd hand. So we can... Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have 6. Like, 6 block here that I'm capable of presenting. Which, ironically, is enough. Unless that's a pummel. I'm going to go Sink Below here. I am going to choose not to sink. And then we're going to go to my turn. So I'm going to Arsenal Sink Below here. Like, may not be the best play in the world, but it's definitely what I'm going to do. So... Okay. Strap up, because here we go. I have 8 block if I need it. So if it's a crippling crush, I have it. That is not frightening at all. I'm not going to sink because I have the Ether Ice Vein to use. Fuse with a Polar Blast. Insidious Chill triggers go. Now, the good news for us is that they probably, like, let me rephrase. The bad news for us is that they probably have blues. Every time we put a sink into Arsenal, a CNC magically appears in their hand. I mean, yeah, that is definitely one of the downfalls of putting Sink Below in Arsenal, and it is a very scary thing. They lost 2 life, and they discarded that card. So that means I have free reign on their turn to do some damage here. So Polar Blast right now is worth 5 damage. Polar Blast is worth 5 damage. We draw a card. Hopefully it's a good one. That is a good card, and honestly, debate if playing that 5 go again, it's not worth because I can't fuse. So it's better just to go 5 go again into 8 with no Arsenal and then have Storm Striders up. At least I think it is. God, I have enjoyed learning this deck so much. There's so many intricate lines to this deck. They've had an unmovable there this whole time. And you know the funny part is, like, I'm surprised that they spent it on that. I mean, don't get me wrong. So that feels like a very impatient block by my opponent. My opinion is that they would have been better off to block with Tectonic Plating and a random card from hand and then hold the unmovable for something like a Wounded Bull. What, baby?
Just looking at you in your hat.
Oh, yeah. My ears were cold, so I put my hat on. So they have 1 card in hand, and they're going to 11 here. I would honestly say that we are in a commanding position. Using Sink Below here feels wrong, but I have to find a way to push some damage through. And we did not see anything that allows me to win the game here. That also does not allow me to win the game from here. So we're going to play Amulet of Ice. Okay, so they go to 14. And then I'm going to pitch Frosting. I think Polar Blast to draw a card is just better here, in my opinion. Plus, I'm curious to see if they pitch a card. It looked like they're trying to be on the fatigue plan here. Oh, the Ice Eternal is what we needed. That is what we needed. This next hand will have the Findle's Fighting Spirit in it, so that is worth mentioning. Yeah, it's going to be... So I'm going to take 4 here. We're going to go Waning Moon. So they Waning Moon this 3. They're taking 2 here. If they have a blue, they're taking 2. Ooh. Ooh, are they going to go to 9 here? Bold move, Belichick. That was the wrong play. I mean, it might have been a red that they wanted to play. Pretty sure you have lethal? Like right now with Stormstriders. So I don't think I had lethal during their turn, but this is definitely lethal because I'm going to strip all their cards from their hands. I'm going to strip all their cards from their hand, and then I'm going to Ice Eternal them on their turn to kill them. Yeah, GG for sure. Yeah. Sephiroth. I like that name. Alright, so I just got to make sure I do this right. Alright. There's no way that Talishar just quit. Okay. So, Insidious chill, Insidious chill. With my hands above my head. I haven't watched that Wednesday show yet on Netflix, but I really want to. And I keep hearing that like TikTok audio every time I'm on TikTok. Ice Eternal them twice? Yeah, 100%. That is absolutely the play. I'm going to see how much the Arcane they prevent before I make them discard. Yeah, and then we're going to go... Oh, wow. I definitely pitched the Ice Eternal on accident. Yeah, I was not thinking about that. I mean, I guess this is still lethal, regardless. Because, yeah, this is still lethal. Yeah, alright, so I messed it up, but still got there, thankfully. Yeah, that was definitely a misplay there. So we're going to play Amulet of Ice, give them a 4th Frostbite. And then we're going to Waning Moon them, and then they're going to take 8 and die here. Ah. Alright, so a little bit of a misstep there by me not keeping the Ice Eternal. So I'm actually going to, I want to break that down. I'm going to write down my notes here from the game, but I want to break that down after that. So let's see, I was at 6. Alright, so we had Ice Eternal, Amulet of Ice, Brain Freeze. So if I pitch Brain Freeze and to use Tunic, and I use Tunic to do Ice Eternal for 2, paying 4 resources for X equals 2, and then I fuse with the Amulet of Ice. I give them 2 Frostbites. They discard 2 cards. They pay 2 life to stop the Arcane because they did for whatever reason. Then we activate Amulet of Ice, get rid of a card. Activate Amulet of Ice, get rid of another card. So from there, yeah, inactivity, whatever. Okay, so then from there, they have 2 Frostbites. I have Amulet of Ice and I have Ice Eternal in my hand. I get to Arsenal the Ice Eternal, and then I go into my turn with 3 blues and an ice and an Amulet of Ice, and then I get to like give them Omega Frostbites. So doing that line was definitely more damage than the one that I took. Or I take that back. I had 2 blues, a Red Aether Ice Vein, and an Amulet of Ice. So I pitch my 2 blues, fuse with Amulet of Ice, give them 3 more Frostbites, so they have 5 Frostbites, and then I pitch my Amulet of Ice to do 3. So that's 11 damage versus my turn was give them 4 Frostbites for 8 damage and Waning Moon for 3 was 11. So it was 11 either way. Okay, so it actually ended up being the same regardless. I just took a little bit of a different line to get there. Now, keeping the Tunic counter to be able to Stormstriders into Aether Ice Vein before I did anything would have bumped our damage from like 11 to like 16. So it would have been a better turn the way I played it, but we had no idea we were gonna. I had no idea I was gonna draw already through Ice Vein. I knew I had pitched one, but I didn't know it was coming back around that hand. So it was definitely, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. So the Ice Eternal is worth 2 more points if you have an extra blue in your hand. So the extra blue is worth 2 more points. So you go from 11 to 13. So banking off the fact that we're hitting second cycle and I'm going to draw 3 blues, more than likely, is putting us in a spot where keeping the Ice Eternal instead of pitching it is more value. It's 13 points versus 11. So it is mathematically better to take the line where I keep the Ice Eternal there. To be fair, both lines were winning here. Ice Eternaling them twice was just more damage. We don't even need to fuse for the other one. Yeah, absolutely. No, you're completely right. I'm just sitting here working out all the math in my head just for future games so that I know when things change or what would have been better. I always like to break things down after games and say, okay, this was more damage. This was a better play, but I made the play that first came to my head. And I think doing that has, over the last, I don't know, probably 50 games of playing Iyslander, has put me into a spot where I feel very comfortable with the deck, and I've started putting up little decent results there. So, all right, guys. Well, that was it for this evening. Wanted to play a little bit of Iyslander, and I feel pretty good about the game. So I appreciate you guys coming by and hanging out tonight. It means a lot. Unfortunately, with the holidays, I do not know when I will be streaming again. I am hoping to be back at least once this week, but that is yet to be determined. So thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy, guys.